Theater of Dreams
thank you
on
either
the
way.
20th of this month. This is where, yep, on the 20th of this month. And the idea of this is you have the opportunity to get critiqued by Joe and Carol, who are award-winning magicians in their theater. If you have a piece, any kind of magic that you would like to get critiqued, we got a couple of slots still available. We're going to have maybe 3 or 4 people get up, perform, they're going to critique, and then of course you learn just as much from watching other people get critiqued. So we'd like to see you all there. But like I said, I've got a couple of slots still left. So if any of you have something that you're working on, a work in progress, or even something that you just think is great and you want to make it better, this is your grand opportunity. So during the second half of Bernardo's lecture, you start to feel like, yes, come see me after. Thanks.
And now, without further ado, Bernardo.
Thank you. If you want to. If you don't, you can stay there. But if you want to, please. So,
Watching you as close as
it's a little better. Sorry for you guys in the back. It's okay. So now I will do a recall of everything I did from the beginning. The first thing I did was to ask for a deck of cards, right? It was sitting there. It was not as good as I wanted, but the perfect situation would be, for example, if Greg. I don't want to throw it too much. So is if, for example, someone here have a deck of cards, and I will tell you exactly what was supposed to happen because I will switch the deck of cards in the moment that I ask you. So usually magicians are always worried about, oh, but to switch a deck, maybe I need a very good technique because I need to take it and put it here on my lap in this position exactly, and then I have to call the attention from here while I take it, and then do this to switch it. No, again, we can always do with your attitude, with your personality, you can always find a solution for that. And in this case, what I was supposed to do, but I didn't because he was too here.
Sorry.
It's okay. It was something like, who have a deck of cards with you? Oh, you do it? And then I just do this. When I do this, he would throw it to me, not to the table. Okay? So I just do this, and I have a pretty big space between me and the table, so I don't catch it. Just like, ah. And now I just kick it to under the table, and I take the one I want. And again, since this is not memorable, is a mistake, no one will remember in a few seconds. So this should be exactly what it's supposed to. But then I just did the other one. I just did. Basically, he threw it to me, and he was really here, and he threw it actually to the table, not to me. So I couldn't even do it. So what I did instead, I just took and I said, who else had decks of cards? And I just adjust my chair. So, well, oh, you do? Okay, blue. Okay, good.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter again. It's not important because this is just a moment that everyone is not in tension yet. So just to explain the deck switch I did.
And if they don't have a deck of cards, then you just use it.
Then I use mine, yeah, of course.
Right.
This is only for magicians. I don't expect a lay person to actually carry a deck of cards.
Pretty sure that they're like, we hired you, shouldn't you have your own?
Yeah, it's like so. Oh, that's a better deck. Good. Kidding. No, it's not. I'm not ending. So, what I do before I need to prepare my deck of cards because otherwise it doesn't make sense. I switch it because I switch borrow deck for my deck, which is no preparation. So what I do in my house or before the lecture or whatever, I put the deck inside Stebbins. Okay, but since the effect with side Stebbins is not the first one, is the second one. The first one is the tantalizer, remember? So what I did is that I cut exactly in half of the half, exactly in 6 and 7 because then now it's 13. You cannot cut it in half. I would have to torn it. And then 3 and 1 and 1. 3 and 3 and then 2 and 1. So I did exactly what is going to happen in the effect. I started to take the, I reversed everything. So I start to do this. This time it will be here because it's 7 cards. So I did exactly what is going to happen during the effect. So that way, after I finish the effect, after I finish the effect, then it will be in the order. But not only this, even for the joke, so I took 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and 21 before everything happens. And this is always the king of spades, the 22nd. So I just take a look if I took wrong cards. So then I just go 3, 6, 7, 3, 6, 7, and 3, 6, 7. Okay. Then I go 1, and I did exactly what I was going to do in the joke. So, and then after this, I reverse counting every 3 cards. So I just did this, and that, and now I was prepared. So I asked for a bottle deck, and I say I do something that no one knows. I do a 3, 6, 9, and I did it every 3 cards because it looks more casual than it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It doesn't look important now, and it's a little chaotic. Okay, so it was 3, 6, 9. So 12, 15, 18, and 21 cards. No one ever see this. Never ever. It's using these cards that someone is going to think. So I reverse everything again. That's all you see. Have you seen this before? Oh, okay, so I do another thing. I square everything. Putting the step here. So I take everything, hold the break, force the card. So that's why I forced the card actually. So remember the card and blah blah blah. I do the effect, and as soon as I finish the effect, as I am here, now all the deck is inside Stebbins. It's in the order. So then I turn the card. It is exactly the card. But now I'm prepared for the next effect. So I give the deck to him, and I ask him to shuffle. I say, you know, shuffle, and under the table. Well, you don't have to. You don't have to shuffle.
No.
I'm just explaining. So why I like to risk myself, because I think I like to put barriers, which is really hard to figure out the method because of all of these barriers inside. So if a guy that knows a lot about magic is look and was like, oh, it is a stack deck. Oh no, but he shuffled, right? Oh, but maybe since he shuffled like this, then he didn't then change the order of a lot. Oh no, but the change in the effect before, he changed the order of the cards. But maybe he was a little devil and he knew that, so he prepared. Oh no, it's a borrowed deck. So I have no idea. So that's why I put a lot of these barriers inside. So it's really possible to actually have an idea how it works. Okay? And also all the psychology I put it behind because it's under the table all the time supposedly, and they feel that, and they feel that could take any card. So of course all of this add the details. And there is something in my lecture notes that is I think it's the last thing. It is called the dust theory, and I just want to explain in a different way that is in there. It is a theory of mine because I heard a lot of times when I'm showing magicians show me something and say, well, what do you think? I say, I think it's really good. So no, I think it would be better if you just do this detail. They're like, no, but no one will ever notice it. But then I get really pissed off inside of me. Not because he doesn't want to do it, but because he don't understand how important all of these details are. So that's where I came to dust theory, to explain every magician that don't understand it, how it is. Imagine I have the most beautiful painting of all time, the most expensive one, the Mona Lisa, for example. And I have the Mona Lisa here, it's my painting, mine. And there is a glass on top, everything, because it's really safe. You have to be really safe, right? And so of course you can see it, but you cannot reach to it. So then at one point you see there's a small piece of dust just in the side, like there. I was like, no one will ever know that. I won't do anything because it's too much work to take it out, blah blah blah. And then I go, and then weeks after, there's not one piece of dust, but there's like 5 or 7 pieces of dust. It's like they will only see from far away. I thought it will be okay. But then, years and years after, there will be a lot of dust in there, and either way, and even thought you could not see every piece individually, you feel that the painting is dirty. And it's the same thing in magic. Even if you cannot see every subtlety individually, you feel the difference. So for example, if I ask for a guy who started magic a week ago, and I say, look, this is how we do the 21 card trick, and do it. And then I ask for Juan Tamariz to do it. I said, do it this version of 21 card trick, because there's a lot. Do this version of it. And then they both do it for the same audience. Everyone's like, I'm not sure why, but the old man is so much better. It's because Juan understands all of these details. So he can apply properly all the subtleties. Okay? Any questions about this? This is just my thoughts, of course.
What was the word you used for this
Dust.
theory?
The dust.
Dust.
The dust
Okay,
theory.
speculative.
But it will be brought up at the lecture, so don't worry. So it's just really quickly so you guys understand, because I think it's really important to understand that this is what actually makes a magician great. Okay? Good. So where was I? There's a lot of mums here because my mom always clap. So I was now at the one under the table, blah blah blah. Okay. So then I give a lot of importance to the top and the bottom. He takes whatever, one of these two, put in the middle. I do this because every information that I say it is questioned about. So I do this, which is not verbally. So now he doesn't question; he just do it. After this, I do the small improvisation routine. Oh, and I switch the deck after I finish this. I finish with the deck face up like this, with the 3 cards like this, and the one here, and exactly the 7 of clubs. Wow! Everyone applause. This is the moment of offbeat. I take all the cards, I put all of them together, I put inside the box while everyone is clapping, and I say, who had deck of cards? And now I just literally do the same thing I did. I just leave it there, and I take the other one while I just, ooh, that was close. So I just switch it while adjusting my chair. So that's the reason why I was like this, and then I just put the deck in the second position. Okay. So now I ask for a borrow deck. I do all the improvisation routine, ending up with what I want. So that way, this is 2 of hearts one. So let me just.
So you got 3 decks down there?
Yeah, there is 3. Yes. There's one that it was with him, was normal. You can shuffle or whatever. One set up,
Yep.
and one with the 2
twos.
of hearts. Yeah. So actually now there's 2.
Yeah.
So now at the moment of the offbeat, because it's really strong, when I turn all the 4 cards, and it is the 4 of a kind because the cards transform itself. Now I do a force, and I don't have. I usually not in this specific effect. I make it become a thought of card. In this effect specifically, since I want him to take the card soon, I don't have enough time to make it become a thought of card. But I can talk a little bit about this. But basically, what happens is why I'm looking for because you remember there was the jacks, right? I think. So just put the jacks here, face down. Okay. So there's the jacks here, face down, because I switch the cards. So I just go to someone. It's like, okay, I do something. I find the jack, but I also look for the 2 of hearts because it's the card I want to force. And I control the 2 of hearts because I think it's missing here. Yes, really? Okay. Then I control it to the top. Okay. So now I know where's the jack of spades, and I just go touch 1 card. Sorry, touch 1 card. This one, okay.
Yeah.
Take which one is it? The jack.
Jack of spades.
Okay. You like the jack?
Yeah.
Good. So then we use the 4 jacks. Bam. Now at this moment I have the 2 of hearts at the top. At the moment that everyone explodes, everyone applauds, I pass this card to the middle, maintaining a break under the card. Okay, so I have it here. So, good. So now while everyone is at the offbeat, that's why I wanted to create the offbeat. Come closer, by the way. What? No, closer like this. Yeah. So now what I do is I do a timing force, which is basically say stop. Stop. It's timing force. And also a dribble force is timing force by dribble. So I just go say stop.
Stop.
Look at the card. Remember it. Don't forget it. And now I put that on the table and I wait. And now I just want to be a little bit distance between it. So what I say is I
So you do that while people are still applauding?
Yeah, I do this while the people are applauding, so that way they don't remember. Is the cap under there? Because I think I might mess something. Okay, no worries. It's okay. I'll just put it here so here's far away. I cannot do some things. So I do this while they're applauding. So it's like, you choose one. You like the jack? Yeah. Wait, let me just find the two parts because it's supposed to be on its own. And now you have to react, right? So that way you can see how it really is. So the jack, you like the jack?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we do with the 4 jacks.
Wow.
Remember the card? Okay, don't forget it. And then that is it.
Okay.
But you don't remember because you are in the other. Okay?
Right.
So now that he have one card, this is what is going to happen. Usually I have, depending of the effect I want to create or depending when I want to use this card, I can transform into an actual thought of card. He will actually feel that it's a thought of card. He will feel that you could thought of anyone and he really thought of it. Of course it takes time to do it. But the most important thing about changing a card, a selected card to a thought of card, first it's to make them not remember how they choose a card. So if I ask them to choose a card like this, take one, then this image and the sense of he's actually taking one card in his hand, it is very, very hard to forget. So that's why I don't do this. That's why I do this. And remember? So that way he doesn't literally took the card in his hand, so it's easier to make it a thought of card because it is easier to forget that he looked at a card than he took one. Okay? So, of course, I don't have much time to explain it because I think how much time do we have for the lecture?
We're here for another
4 more hours.
We're here
Okay.
for another hour.
That works for me. So then I might have some time. So basically, at the beginning, I just say, oh, you choose a card, you choose a card. Oh, you didn't choose one, right? But you have one in your mind, right? So it is very subtle at first, but then it will become less and less subtle with the time. So I say blah 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 blah. This is your card. Wow, but you didn't choose one, so you're only thinking of one, right? Blah 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 blah. So you're thinking of a card, right? Blah blah blah. Blah. So you have one card and no one knows it, right? Blah 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 blah. So all the time I become less and less subtle, and every time it's just sticking more and more in his mind. That is a thought of card. And since there was a moment that he doesn't remember as well that he chose that card, so he doesn't remember to say stop because it was the offbeat as well. So then he doesn't remember exactly how he selected that card. So I use this in my advantage. Of course, I need time to do this because in the case of the any card any number, I cannot do it because it's literally look at the card, blah 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 blah. Any card any number, you think of a number, you think of a card. Say, and then I don't have time because now I say, and you take the card out. So he have to name the card. If I had more time, I could make it actually think about that he actually thought of the card. So basically, you're thinking of a card, blah 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 blah, and now when I'm in the last moment, there is a great detail that it is for the first time. What was the card you're thinking of? And I don't say what is the card you're thinking of because if he changed his mind, then he would say a different card. So I say what was the card he's thinking of? What was the card you're thinking of?
Two of hearts.
The 2 of hearts for the and now I say the 2 of hearts at the end. So I look at him and I say at the end, and this gives the impression that he could change the card over and over again, and maybe he did or maybe he doesn't. I don't care. And then it is the 2 of hearts. Just so in the case, so I explained basically how it was supposed to happen, in case I have more time. But since I don't, what I did is I look at the card, blah blah, and now I just give some time and just ask anything about that, like, oh, what order you guys use in the suit? Is this chase or I don't care actually. I know pretty much everyone uses chase here in US, so I'm just asking because I don't want to be that close from him from this moment, right? I say, oh, okay. But I would talk about something, blah, 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 the story of magician that David burglars any card, any number, and now comes the forcing. Because it is very, very natural for everyone. Can you come closer as well? Good, thank you. Yeah, good. So now I'm here with them, and I will, what happens is, and basically someone is going to think of a number, and I tap him, so he understands that he have to think of a number. And I say, and someone thinks of a card, and I tap him, but I don't give him time to think of one, so I say, you have one, right?
Yes.
And since he chose the card moments ago, and he didn't use it so far, he understands that it is for this effect. Okay? And you're thinking of a number, right? So I give him enough time to do it. So in the actual speed would be something like this. So it is any card and number that basically someone thinks of a number from 1 to 52, and someone thinks of a card. You have a card?
Yes.
And you have a number? Good. So it looks really natural, right? It looks like they just made up. So, and of course there's one detail that I really enjoy to use, like take the card you're thinking of, take the card and put it here. And if it's, and then when they are looking for it, I'll say, and if it's not there, you can just change your mind and take another one. Oh, is that, it is there? That's what you're thinking of? And then, again, this is a small detail that makes even more impossible, because if the card was not there, he could not look at the card. But these are details that just for the, so and then go, blah, 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 and then all the, thank you. And then it goes the emotions up and down, the expectations. I end up with the looking, not just looking, but turning actually my head to the place, so everyone knows what is going to happen. Take out the cards, count the cards, boom, and I finish with the tapping, and everyone explodes. So I know it is a lot of information, but you guys have any questions about what I said so far?
Of course, how do you do the card that's number on this day?
All right. So, I don't explain this in the lecture, but if you guys are really, really interested about that, and if you're actually going to do it, ask me after the lecture and I will teach you. But please, only if you really have the interest of knowing, and only if you're actually going to do it, because magicians, since they know the secrets, they are not often fooled, so they lose this emotion of being fooled, and sometimes they even don't know why they're doing magic anymore. So I don't want to break this emotion for you in case you're not going to use it. Okay, so whoever wants to know, ask me after the lecture. Okay, but please, only if you really want to know and you really go to use. Any other questions besides it? No?
What if the number was less than 6?
What?
So you said 31. What if the number was 6?
Oh, then again, it's only improvisation. So I could say 6, or either I could say no, but 6 is too small. Make it harder.
Oh.
I could say this, or I could say 6 plus
5.
whatever.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
How often is it like in 30s that they pick?
Not too often, actually. They usually say at around 20, 17, 20. Actually, between 15 and 20 something, 23.
Only magicians pick in the 30s.
Yeah.
Magic for they do.
Yeah, and then usually when they pick a really big number like 40 or 37 or something like that, because it happened already, I just go, are you sure you want to count 37 cards? And then they look like me, go, 20. It's like, okay, it can be 37 if you want, it doesn't matter, it's not a force. But I'm just asking because we're going to count those cards. And it's up to them. But 30 or 31, I think it was a little more than I wanted to, but I think it was okay at the end. Any other questions? So this is the moment that you have one question for?
No.
So this is the moment that I finish the second part of the lecture, and it comes the moment that you can ask me about anything. If you want me to ask about Brazil, you can ask me, although I don't think it's of interest of everyone. If you want me to ask about, if you want me to ask to do more effects, I can do more effects. If you want me to show ideas, I can show more ideas. If you want me to talk about more about psychology, I can show more about psychology, or theories, or whatever you guys want. So please, who's first?
Can you do a card vanish? you do a card, how do you do your card?
Card
count?
vanish?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You do that card vanish?
The
card vanish.
when I take a card
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
make it vanish.
Yeah, yeah, that's nice.
It's an idea that occurred to me like a while ago. I thought it would be good. But this is basically this and this in vanish. But of course, it's a lot better if I say I'll put the two of hearts under. So do like this and vanish. I don't know. But of course, you mean that is specifically?
That one, yes.
Okay. So this is the classic one they do. They just do this. I think it's very good if you can make them remember at first, so you can do like, and then you can actually do it. But I don't actually do it. But if I were supposed to, I would actually do it like this. So that way, it is the same thing, it's the same, but the card is displaced in a way that it doesn't look, it doesn't connect with the deck.
Yeah.
So what I do is
Right.
literally, since my finger is here, when I push the card in, it squares perfectly. Okay? So it would be something, I could do something like this, for example.
Wow.
Looks
Oh,
good.
man.
But I don't do this. I don't actually make a lot of visual magic that the card disappears. And if I am, I probably will use the latter because it's a great tool. So for example, something like that.
But that is divine, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions about move or anything else? If you don't, then I will just show you in fact.
Yes, please. You mentioned the deaf technique.
Yes,
Here
I
you
do.
said there were 5 variations.
Yeah,
on
there
that.
is. They are not public. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention it. Thank you for asking, by the way. The deaf technique is something that I don't think all 5 are published. I think there is only maybe 2 of them that are published. And if all 5 are published, they are for sure either on the Magic Rainbow, which is a great book that was just released in English from Quintamara's. If you don't have it yet, stop whatever you're doing right now and buy it. I mean it. It's really good. What are you guys doing? You have it? Why are you stopping? Like
By who?
Juan
By
Campos.
Who's that?
Juan Tamariz is a very old guy. He's not good, but the
Does he
Magic
have
Rainbow.
YouTube videos?
Oh, he's a YouTuber, I think. Oh no, that was not. So, Juan Tamariz, he released his last book. He was doing it for 40 years, and it's so good. It's so massive what is inside. So you cannot read it the page and then go to the other one. You have to read the page again and again and again because there's so much information in that. And either is on this book, which is the Magic Rainbow, or it is on a DVD that was released a few months ago with Murphy's, called it Magic from My Heart, and it is for sure on the last DVD on the interview part that he talks, but he just mentions it. I don't think he talks about all 5, and if he does, it's just a mention. But basically, there's 5 types of the deaf technique. One of it is, which is the first one, the first level of it, is when basically you say, tell me a card,
9 states.
and then say, I'm sorry, and it is the most pure, because you literally pretend that you don't hear. The second one is when you misunderstand it. So, name any card.
9 states.
So okay, so I would do something with the 5 of spades, and
It was the 9 states.
oh, so this is the other one. There is a third one, which is the one I use most. It is when I talk while the spectator answers me. Like, name any card you want.
9 states.
Well, not anyone, because I think it might be missing the jokers, but anyone else is okay. Which one?
9 states.
Wait, I think might be the best one. There is one that I actually don't remember in memory right now. Is not coming, which is the 4th, and there is the number 5, which is something that is very hard to do because it is a very specific moment. It is. What was there? It is when I say, okay, I want everyone to think of cards. You're thinking of one card. You're thinking. Okay, I will count into 3. When I do it, everyone will just scream their cards out loud. So 1, 2, and 3. Everyone scream. No, you don't have to. But thank you. So when they screams, I hear only one of the people's. I focus my hearing in only one of it. And now I say, wait, that is very confusing. maybe you. What is the card you said?
Four spades?
And then I have the information before you, okay? And there's the fourth one that I don't remember. I just remember the 1, 2, 3, and the 5. But it is on my phone, so after, because it's recorded, but after the lecture, I will tell you guys exactly what it is, okay? Any other questions? Yeah, please. No?
No.
Oh, you said, I thought you said, oh. No? So you know that I would just do magic right now, right? I would just do something. But actually, I have a question that is hard to say, because remember that I said that usually magicians are not fooled by something, so they don't experience magic. Do you want me to show something that I can explain or something that I cannot explain? That is an interesting.
I would like it.
Something that
Something
you
you
cannot
can't explain.
Can't explain.
Wait. The people that think can explain do like this.
Can or can't?
Can.
Okay.
Oh, can't.
That I can explain.
No, I want can't.
So no one? Okay, good. And the ones that I can't explain? All right, that's fun. Okay, that will be fun. And I just have one more question. Yeah.
Would you be able to give us maybe some of your ideas on the classic force? Because I'm quite sure that everyone that you
Of
asked
course,
to take
yes,
a
of
card
course.
was thinking, I'm not going to take that one.
Okay,
But they
of
ended
course,
up
of course.
taking the card.
I will. Just after the effect, is that okay? And I do have one question before this. Would you like me to do something that is very structured that I actually do for lay people, or do you want me to do something that would just fool the hell out of me?
Oh, fool the hell out of me, please.
Okay, it's because I don't know if you want me to
That's
actually.
my vote. That's my vote.
Do them
Both
both.
or
Judge
It's
later.
hard. Does anyone have a deck of cards with you?
Okay.
Yeah, may I? It's not Stooge, by the way, but just so you guys know.
He's a stooge.
And either way, even if you were a Stooge, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to do it. I'm just literally going to take one card. You know, usually when I do magic for magicians, I understand what they think. And I know there is one very, very specific sentence that they always get really pissed about when I say it. It really messes with them inside. And it is exactly this one, exactly the one I'm going to use right now. I will not touch the cards until the end. And it really messes with them, usually. And also, this is one prediction. Okay? So, I don't want to touch that. I think so. I want you to think of a number from 1 to 2, but before you do that, it's very, very important that if you say a high number like 45 or something like that, it will be too high. We'll count a lot of cards, will be boring. And if you say a very small number like 5 or 7, it will count only a few cards. So, just
Okay.
is it okay?
Yep.
You have one.
Yep.
I want you to cut about half of the cards, just square before it, so that way you can imagine how much is about half. Because sometimes people just take like a few cards. No, but hold in your hand like this.
Oh.
Yeah. And shuffle a little bit. Is it okay? Oh, you're thinking of a number, right? And throw some cards on the top like that.
Just any.
Yeah, and more, and yeah. Just keep doing it until you're finished.
Okay.
And basically, just put everything on top. Come on, it's okay. And take all in your hand. I think it'll be better. And I want you to deal just a few cards, like maybe 4 or 5, something like this, but not one by one, like piles like that. Like,
Oh.
yeah. Yes, that's good. And stop. Right. What is the number you're thinking of?
19.
19. Okay, just do a few more, and maybe take the top one and put it on the middle. No, on the middle here.
Oh,
Or if you want, you can put there. It's okay.
All right, whatever.
It's okay.
Sorry, misunderstood.
It's up to you, but you can take the next one and put it in the middle there. Why not?
All right.
And then just do a few more like that. Yeah, it's okay. And then good. Then a few more, and then stop. Wait. For example, if I ask you, do you know very good English language, right?
Sure.
So name a word that is very hard to spell because I want to mess with you. Jesus.
Onomatopoeia. No, we won't.
Oh no, onomatopoeia. But that sounds easy, right?
Oh, no.
No? Okay,
I
good.
can't spell that.
So try to spell it card by card.
O-N-O-N, let's see.
Let's let's see.
P-I-A, I guess. Is that
Oh.
right?
Maybe. Look. Try it again.
I don't. Okay, on.
But before you do, just shuffle a little.
Oh,
Just-
okay.
Now yes. Now.
Okay. O-N-O-M.
And shuffle a bit more because I want to mess with you.
O-P-I-A. I'm gonna go with that.
Good. And throw everything else on the top. Is that okay? So it's really shuffle. We cut to do whatever I want. And as I said from the beginning, I will not touch the deck until the end. And you were thinking of a number, which was
19.
19. And you shuffle, you cut, you did whatever, right?
I'm guessing I'm gonna count 19 cards.
Take the deck. Can you count 18 cards face up and stop at the 19?
Yes. Straight up. Okay. Face up.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That is the 19th card. You shuffle, you do whatever, right?
Mhm.
5 of clubs, 19. So, about the classic force, right? Oh, this is yours. Thank you so much.
What?
Wait, is
Uh,
that when you were going to explain or not explain? No, that was a non-explainer.
So about the classic force. Well, really tough deck. About the classic force, I actually, when I started in Magic, I was 9 years old, and I only got contact with magicians in 2010, so I was 13, I think. Imagine 14. So what happens is that since I didn't knew any magicians, I tried to find my own solutions, my own problems, and of course to find my own solutions. And by the way, there's something that is not about the classic force, but it's about magic itself. I think every good magician, with no exception, they did magic a lot for a lot of different people. I think all of them, with no exception. So for example, I think that was actually where I got a lot of experience, because when I was a kid and I did magic every time for everyone at the bus at the bus stop or for the waiter, and I still do, not as much as I did, but I still do every time that I can. And I think that actually gave me a lot of experience, and I found out my own problems and solved them. So for example, I remember that I did this change, this color change, which is you probably know, right? You know this, right? This color change, and I never liked the way that some people do. Not right now, they do it like this. And they turn the card really slowly. I'm not sure why. So I found my own ways of doing it. For example, instead of doing like this, I did it in circles. So that way, maybe I do it first for these people and then for these people, so that way you guys can see it. So I did it in circles like this. So it's 1, 2, 3. So it looks a lot better, right? Maybe for you guys, it will be 1, 2, and 3. So it looks better. Of course, this was one of the problems that I solved, but also there was other problem that when I do this, I am finished with this very, very bad position because I have 2 cards, and either I had to put here and give the card, which I never liked, or I would have to stay like this, which I didn't like either. So what I did at the time is that I found my own solution to this, which was I do it, and then I relax, and I come back to the same position. But basically what happens is that I stole the card before. So now they're just like, yeah, you can take it, and it's nothing, right? Just a small detail. And the classic force, I didn't learn the classic force. I didn't have any contact with magician, remember this? And magic in Brazil, especially in Rio, it was really hard to get any material. Okay? So I didn't saw anywhere about the classic force. I never heard about it. I never saw it. So I just at one point I did a break and I went to my mom and said, "Mom, can you take one card?" And she actually took the red card. I was like, "Yeah, it works!" And then I just ran off. And she was like, "This kid is crazy." And
She didn't applaud that time.
yeah, and she didn't understood because, but then that was the moment that I figured out by myself the classic force, and I start to do it over and over again. Even if I don't have to, for example, I'll do something that is it a free choice, so I just do a break, whatever, just say touch one card, and then I practice that. Thank you. And then I practice that with a lot of different people with during the time, so I understood inside of me how it works, what is the timing and everything. And of course, later on when I start to hang out with magicians and I met magicians, I understood, I read about the classic force and I study as much as I could, so I understood a little bit more and I could make it mine better. So I cannot say a lot about the classic force, exactly how I do it. I can show you hundreds of different angles if you want. I can do it face up, I can do it without looking. But what I can talk is the things that I learned over the years. Why does it work? And basically for me, the classic force, it is a timing force. It is the moment that I have one card here, the 3 of diamonds, and I'm going to ask him to touch one card, and the moment that he's going to reach for the card is exactly the moment that the card is there. So I would do it with the card face up, so the way you can see that there's 3 of diamonds face up. Say, I want go through the cards. I want you to touch one, and it is the moment exactly. Okay. Also, I know that because of the break, I can control the situation. I can control how fast or how slow it goes. Okay. Oh, wrong card. So basically, as any timing force, I dictate the timing at first. So, for example, I know you guys probably don't believe me that the timing force always works for everyone. 9 of diamonds. I will do with everyone at the same time. Is that okay for you?
Sure.
So you really have to answer though. You have to
Sure.
say it firmly.
Yes. Nine
Yes.
of diamonds.
Yes.
I go through the cards one by one like this, and whenever you want, just say the word stop.
Stop.
You see? That's the moment. You guys didn't answer. I'm seeing this. But that's the moment, of course, I'm stopped on the card, because everyone have a similar timing, and I dictate what will be the timing. Of course, I was talking with Paul Vihu. I'm not sure if you know him. He's a great magician from US. He lives in Vegas. He was, I think,
What was the name again?
Paul Vihu.
Paul Vihu.
Okay.
He's the best. He was the best friend of Johnny. So I'm really worried about him. But Paul, he told me that he did it because basically the timing is, if you do the timing at this space, it is blah 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 blah, 1, 2, stop.
Blah, 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 blah.
It doesn't matter what I say, but this is the timing that I'm using. So whenever I stop to say and I give you the information I want, like say stop.
Stop.
Stop. It will be on the 3rd beat. Okay? So this happens in the 3rd beat. So I have the Queen of Clubs and I say I go through the cards like this, and whenever you want, I just want you to stop. Stop. Queen of Clubs. But of course, if you can as you dictate the timing, you can do it a lot slower, like Paul do. He do it like this, I imagine. I think it was this that he showed me. It is the 9 of diamonds. I want you to go and take the card like this and fill it, and just put it there, and then just go for the next one, fill it, put it there. Fill it, really fill it, put it there. Then go for the next one, fill it, put it there. So whenever you feel something else, you stop. Now it would be too much, but usually they stop at this one. It's because I don't do pulls, so I'm not sure if I'm doing the right timing. But since it's a lot slower because it takes a lot longer to do this with the cards, so then his beat is at the second one. It's like you stop to talk, and then it's 1 and stop, because it takes a lot longer.
It's funny because when he was doing that, I felt he should have stopped right there.
Yeah, right. So I'm not sure if it was him, because it's really hard to also force someone that knows is going to be forced.
Yeah.
But just so you guys understand it, of course, don't worry, it's okay, it's not your fault. It's not your fault, it's not your fault.
But in my head, I was going 1, 2.
Don't worry, it's not your fault.
Okay.
Don't hear. So, and of course, it could be a lot faster. For example, the Ace of Hearts, I do the cards like this, it says stop.
Stop.
See? And then it was not only one beat, it was more than one, and it's like the Ace, right? So, it depends of what your timing is, what you want to dictate. And how I dictate the timing, because it is easy if I'm going card by card, because that's the timing. But how do I dictate the timing if I'm doing the classic force? My timing is basically this motion. This is how I dictate it. So I do have the 4 of spades, and I just go, I go through the cards like this, and I want you to touch one. 1, 2, and that's the moment. So it is, look, it is really like this. I go through the cards like this, and I want you to touch one card. 1, 2, and 3. You see? That's the moment that the card is there. So it's always reached for this one. And of course, if you understand the timing, which is really hard to, because you really need to practice a lot to understand in order to actually understand it, you can do it without looking and facing up. For example, I will force you to force me. I can tell you that. I don't do this for lay people because otherwise they will try to mess it up. But I will force you to 4 spades, face up, and I won't look. I go through the cards and I want you to touch one card. This one? Which one it is? You see? Because I understand all of this, so it is already inside of me. I know what is the timing I should dictate. I know everything. So I hope this had helped you. I know it is. I'm not sure if I have much more to contribute with that.
I have a personal
Yes.
question. How did you make the jump from street magician to finding your pack with the other magicians?
It was actually in my first magic. There was a really, really small magic store. It was about, let's see, about from here to here and to there. It was that small.
Wow.
Closet.
A
Yeah,
closet.
almost that. It was in the middle of the shopping mall. So then, since I went there every time I could, and I spent like hours there and everything, I knew everything that was in sale there. And then I even helped him to sell the stuff because since I was young and I did it alright, then they said, well, see, he started here, he's doing and he's doing this, and I want to buy it for my kid then. So I sold a lot of magic. Not myself, but because of me. And I really enjoyed to be there.
You did
but
this volunteer?
yes, I was just there hanging out and trying to absorb as much as I could. Because I didn't have any material in Portuguese pretty much. So there was pretty much only the things that were in that store. And I didn't have access from the internet as well because my mom didn't let me and blah blah. Long story. And so at one point, the manager of the store told me, oh, you know, there's going to be a magic convention here in Brazil, in Rio. You should ask your mom if you can come. And then I went to my first magic convention. It was, I think, maybe 200 magicians. Imagine, for no magicians to 200? That's a pretty... And there were a lot of very... Not a lot. There was Danny Ortiz in there. And I remember, I didn't met anyone from the Spanish Magical School. I didn't know anything about that. So when I saw him at live, that was the moment that changed my life. That was the moment that I experienced real magic for the first time in front of me. I literally cried because of all the emotions I was feeling. And that was the moment that I said to myself, okay, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I want to do only with cards. So that was the point. And so, months later, they told me there was a magic circle in Rio, and then I went into every magic meeting since then. And I still do if I'm not traveling, but I travel a lot, so not all the time there. But and then actually the first couple of years there was most of the meetings there were only me and the president. So yeah, it was really bad because pretty much no one. But he taught me a lot. He bring me like DVDs and tapes, and he put it there so I could watch. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. Like, yeah. And there's this and blah blah blah. And then he taught me a lot of that. And of course, then years later, I wanted to make the circle big again. So I convinced a few other friends to be with me at the presidency. I was not the president though. I didn't want to. So I convinced them, and then we could organize. And now there's about 25, 30 magicians every meeting, which is great. So yeah, that was it.
Fabulous. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
When you get a brand new deck of cards, how, you just said a minute ago, boy, these are really stiff. Do you flex them? How do you just shuffle the daylights out of them?
I basically I take it out from the box, and I just do this, and I turn it out the other side. Do this, and this, and then I think I'm
You're about
okay.
ready. Okay.
And then of course at some points I shuffle the cards. At some points I do maybe pharaohs if I wanted to. But that's pretty much how I am. There's not much to it. I just open and do this and this and this. Because sometimes I'm doing magic for my friends, and I don't have a deck of cards open with me, so I just take a new one and I open it. So I cannot have too much time between opening that deck of cards and actually do something. So yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
What would you do for, one last question before?
Yeah, sure.
If a layman,
Yeah.
just the trick, would you do that for them? You didn't have a lot of time and you were going to do something for them.
Oh, it's anything because it depends. If I'm doing for my friends, then I just test something that I'm working on. And if it is not for my friends, then I do the same things that I always do. For example, there is one very hard effect that if you want I can share, but it's really hard. No one would do it, I think. But I change it to be in my own way. But I show you guys the effect. The effect is basically this. Well, I do a 4-card prediction. You know, playing cards, of course, everyone knows playing cards, so I do a 4-card prediction. That is the 1, that's the number 2, that's the number 3, that's the number 4. Okay, so these are our predictions, but they're not for now, they're for later. It's okay if I do it with you? Good. So I want you to take one card and remember and show everyone else. I don't want to see it. Okay? Do you want to change your mind? I turn it back. Okay, do you want to change your mind? It's okay.
That's good.
Put it face down.
Face down.
Is it okay? Is it face down?
Yep.
Good. So why face down? Because now it's really easier to follow because it's easier to follow a card that is reversed than a card that is not, right? So for example, if I ask you what is the 4 of clubs, you wouldn't know where it is in.
Right.
But if I ask you what is your card, really easy, right? And so and not only from here but also from here, it's really easy to follow because it's more ink in there or something like that. I don't know. I don't usually say this, but what I do is. What is the important thing is that the card is it's very easy to follow. It's outside, right? And remember that before at the beginning I left 4 cards here, right? And those 4 cards they tell me exactly what is your card. The first one it tells me what is the color of the card, so it must be a black card. Is it a black card?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. The second one it tells me the suit, so it must be a spade. Is it spade? Yeah, okay. The third one it tells me the value, so it must be a 6. Yes?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And the last one, do you know what it tells me?
It's the card.
No, he actually doesn't tell me anything.
No.
Because actually, none of these cards never told me anything because I always had here 1, 2, 3, and the 4 is exactly 1, 2, 3, and the 4 aces. But of course, because now you must be asking yourself, if here I have the 4 aces, what the hell is this card over here? And this card cannot be anyone, but exactly the 4 aces? Wait, because if here I have the 4 aces, that means I always had the entire time only one prediction that always were the 6 of spades. I think it's really interesting because it's really visual at the beginning. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. And I can teach you exactly how it's done, but it's like it is hard. I do like double breaks and kind of stuff like that. But it's up to you guys.
Let's see more magic.
Do you have that?
You want to teach
Do
us?
you want to do?
I get 15 minutes only.
That's it.
I was going to do actually one thing, but I wanted to explain before, and then I show one last thing.
He's got time. It's 4:36.
4:35.
Yeah, it's just, you're running fast.
Gene, did
Oh,
you
yeah,
forget to
Mickey,
change
look
your
at Mickey.
clock?
Okay, I show you guys one thing that I do for lay people when I do it in my show, and I think it's a very good version of it. I think you guys will like it. It's okay if I do it with you?
Please.
Okay, good. So I would take. I don't want to bend the cards. I did bend the window. Sorry for that. I think it's okay. So I take one card from here, and and don't think as a lay people. It's very important. Is this card red or black? Don't think too much. Only by intuition. Black. See, he thought too much. All right. You're wrong. See, because you thought too much. Come on. I know you can do it. Wait. Red or black?
Black.
See, again, he was like black.
All right, you get the idea here?
You got the idea, right?
Red.
Ah.
Jesus Christ. Maybe I do.
Okay.
No, it's okay. I would try. I'm not sure. I'm not sure though. This is what's going to happen. I will give you the cards,
Sure.
and you're going to deal the cards into piles. The cards you think they are red, you put it one part. The cards you think they're black, you put the other. And since you're not that good, I'm not sure how it's going to happen. But can you? Okay, so do it. And so basically, now what he's going to do is only by his intuition, he's separating the cards into reds and black cards. Oh, I forgot to ask you one thing. Which one is the black pile? He thought too much, you see? This is red, you see? You are doing the opposite of great, so keep doing it. But go fast. So basically what he's doing is, if he doesn't think about, actually, I guess it's already messed up, but he's just basically dealing the cards. Oh, wait a minute. Because if here, this is the red pile, then this is supposed to be the black, right? Ah, you missed by one, but it's okay. Just keep doing it. You're great. So basically, he's now trying to separate all and every single card from the deck, and hopefully it wasn't supposed to be exactly what he wanted to, but it will be the opposite. So, if you did, all right. If you did, then of course here there's supposed to be 26 cards, and there's supposed to be 26 there. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. You see, it was the one card. But of course, everyone gets a second chance. So, which one of these cards don't belong to this packet? This one doesn't belong.
Yep.
All right. Really? So, if you did everything perfectly, which I'm not sure, I'm just wondering. Oh wow. You're great, because you actually managed to actually put all in every single cards like this. And at this moment, usually people start to applaud, but it's okay. It's okay. You yourself, you can even turn the cards. Turn your cards. Turn the cards. Yeah. Just turn it. Turn all of them. Yeah.
Wow.
You're amazing.
Job, Gene.
Teach me that later, Gene.
So this is just something. It's an idea that I have for the Out of This World. It's my version of it. I have more than one version. There is another one that I think would match better this situation. But it's okay. Basically, I don't have time to explain, do I?
Well, a little bit of time. Go ahead.
Now I got time. So, basically, what happens here is that I have all the cards separated at the beginning, okay? I can shuffle the top part, and then when I arrive to the middle, I can shuffle one by one. And then when I pass the half, I can shuffle all the rest. So I can do this as much as I want. I can just do this, and then one by one, and then and more and more. So it really looks shuffled, right? So what I do now is that only for lay people actually it works. For magicians, usually either doesn't work or it works all of the opposite. But for lay people, it's like this. I take one, since I know that the black cards are on the bottom and the red ones are on the top, so I take a red one because I know where to dribble and to take a card from. So this card is rather black, and they usually say red. And then I do it again, and they usually say red again. And then I take one from the bottom pile, and they usually say black. So I got 3 cards in a row, which is very magical at this moment already, right? So now, just small details, I take those 3 cards and I start to dribble, and I put this one in the first half, this one on the second, and this one on the second. So that way they are now back into order. So they are just as they were, okay? I give you the cards and I say, oh, I'll give you the cards and I want you to deal the cards like this, and then you will start to separate the blackest card from the reds. And now I do this because it creates a little more chaos. So at the end, I just literally do this and put it on the top and I give it to him. So since I know that the red cards are on the top, this will be an important question. Usually now, actually, as it was supposed to be for lay people, deal the cards one by one and 2 piles, blah, blah, blah. And now I talk to everyone because it's boring. Say blah, 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 because now you start to separate all the cards from the blacks. Oh, I forgot to ask you. Remember, all of these cards are reds. All of these cards are reds because all of them on top are reds. I say, what is the red pile? Which one is the red pile? This one's the red pile? Oh, you're great. Keep doing it. You're doing a great job. So it's a small effect in the middle that makes it more interesting. So I talk while it's that, and when we pass the middle, for sure, and I say, wait, but if here this is the red pile, this should be the black one, right? Oh, you're amazing. Just keep doing it. So it's another extra effect. Blah 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 blah. And then I just keep talking until he ends. When he ends, now I remember that this is the pile that matches, and this is the one that don't, because this is the red piles and the black cards are on the top, right? So I say, if you did everything perfectly, then we should have 26 and 26, right? So, and then I take it the one that doesn't match, and I reverse count it, one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You did perfectly. And if you didn't, if there was one more card there, it doesn't matter. All I would do is just say, here's one card that doesn't belong here. Which one it is? And now I start to spread the cards, but since I want to force him the bottom part, I start to say, so there's one card that doesn't belong here. Which one it is? And now when I finished asking, I am already on the black part. I'm already on the second half. So we just touch one for the black part. This one, okay. And now I do this very, very suspicious way because I'm usually like this. Okay. No, really. And now I flash. So they see that is the matching color. And now, usually the people applaud. I'm not sure why. So I just put this on the second position or something like that. So that way it's not close to the bottom. So now what I do is that I look for it, and I see the first card that doesn't match the color. So the last card, sorry. So it's the Jack of Hearts. It is the card that I would remember. And for a mathematical property, if you have a deck of cards separated exactly in half, there will be in one of the piles there will be exactly the same amount of red cards, then there will be blacks in the other. I don't want to go much into it because it would take long to explain exactly. But now what I do is I start to go one, because you manage to separate it all in every single of the cards. And now I try to go a little faster, but actually taking one by one. So when I arrive a little less than the middle, and then I say, usually the people applaud at this moment, because that's the moment of offbeat that I want to create. And when I arrive to the Jack, my hands contact the 2 piles because they don't match now anymore. Okay? So my hands contact the 2 piles, and I literally do this for him. But now, I only take this one and I put it in front. So this is the switch. Because again, magicians are always worried about, thank you so much. So the magicians are always like thinking method-wise, like what can I do, maybe a pass or maybe, but I think the most natural things sometimes are better. And I do have another version, just to change the last part. This is black, this is red. Which I'm basically, I ask for the spectator which is sitting here. There's no, but I ask him to switch places with me. So now he's on my place, he's doing it, and he's doing like this, and I'm seated here with everyone else. So now when I take it and I start to deal the card, when I stop at the jack, which is the key card, what I do is that I take these piles and I turn and I give it to you and say, you can turn the cards. Thank you so much. And this is a reverse, right? So it's very subtle as well. So yeah, thank you so much. I will do one last thing, which that's what I was actually planning to. I think that was interesting routine, because I actually how I started to think about it was, if I actually am able to do it, to actually make the spectator to separate it, how it's supposed to be exactly. And that was the solution that I worked. But I wanted to show one last thing. Not sure if that's the one. I hope so. This is a special deck. And I will tell you why is it special. It is special because I can take out the soul of the deck. Look, that's the soul of the deck. Of course you cannot see it, but you can imagine, right? It's true. And I can just put the cards in the air and they just stay spread with no reason at all. They just stay there. And they're separated into red cards and black cards. And we have to erase a lot of these cards. So if I ask you, which one would you like to erase, the reds or the blacks?
Blacks.
So you want to keep the reds.
Yeah.
That is correct?
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to think that it's a mixed force like that. So you want to keep the blacks.
Keep the reds.
Oh, keep the reds. Sorry. So the black cards we erase.
Yeah.
So from the red cards they're now separated into hearts and diamonds. And if I ask you, which one would you like to erase?
The diamonds.
The diamonds to erase? Okay. Not the hearts then. Okay, so the diamonds we don't use. And now it's left of us with hearts cards. And these cards are in numbers and pictures. Which one would you like?
Pictures.
To erase or to keep? That's a very important question.
Erase.
To erase, so erase the pictures. And from the now for the numbers of hearts, we have high and low. Which one would you like?
Get rid of the low.
Get rid of the low. And from the high numbers of hearts, which one would you like to keep? That's the very important question.
9 of hearts.
The 9 of hearts. You don't want the 10? Or maybe the 6 or the 7, no? Or the 8? No. So the 9 of hearts. And just to make it easier to see, I will turn it face up and square everything. And everything that happens with this deck happens with this deck. All I have to do is just this. And it's done. I will do everything as clear as I can, but now one card is reverting. It's not any card, but it's exactly the 9 of hearts. Yep, it is the 9 of hearts. Thank you so much. No, I should. I really should. That is really one card, and it is really the 9 of hearts. But there is one problem, actually. The problem is that you didn't want spades. You didn't want black cards. You didn't want diamonds. You didn't want pictures. So we erase all of them. So that's why this is a blank card. And not only this one, but this one, and not only this one, but this one, and this one, and this one, and every single card except for the 9 of hearts. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for having me here. It was my pleasure to be here. I hope you guys enjoyed the lecture. And I did bring some things to sell, which is not